60 Hz. 60 Hz means your phone screen redraws the image 60 times every second. Think of it like a flip book with 60 pages. Budget Android phones, older iPhones, all the way up to the iPhone 13, shipped at 60 Hz. For texting, watching YouTube, and reading emails, it works. But the moment you hold a 120 Hz phone, going back to 60 Hz feels like scrolling through wet cement. Motion looks sticky, swipes feel like they're dragging. Your brain notices the lag, even if you can't name it yet. Some manufacturers still ship mid-range phones at 60 Hz in 2025 and market them as smooth experiences. They're not lying, they're just not telling you what smooth actually feels like. 90 Hz refreshes 90 times per second. That's 50% faster than 60 Hz. Think of it as upgrading your ceiling fan from low to medium. The difference is immediate and real. Google's Pixel 4 brought 90 Hz to the mainstream. OnePlus made it their signature selling point for years. Scrolling through your feed, swiping between apps, opening menus, everything feels noticeably sharper and more responsive. Your finger and the screen finally feel connected. The manufacturers use 90 Hz as a budget compromise, then quietly drop it back to 60 Hz inside certain apps without telling you. Your phone might run at 90 Hz on the home screen and silently fall back to 60 Hz the moment you open your camera or a third-party app. You're paying for 90 Hz, but not always getting it. 120 Hz. 120 Hz is the gold standard for smartphone screens right now. Your display redraws itself 120 times every second, twice as fast as 60 Hz. Scrolling through Instagram feels like silk under your thumb. Gaming feels immediate. Touch input feels like the screen is reading your mind. Samsung's Galaxy S series, OnePlus flagships, Apple's iPhone 13 Pro, and every Pro model after it, they all landed on 120 Hz for a reason. It's the point where motion stops being a spec and starts being a feeling. The failure point, running at constant 120 Hz costs battery. A sustained 120 Hz screen draws up to 15 to 20% more power than 60 Hz. Cheaper 120 Hz phones lock the rate at a flat 120 Hz with no intelligence behind it. Your screen refreshes 120 times per second while you're staring at a static lock screen. That's the battery being burned for zero reason. The fix for this is LTPO, and that's coming up next. 144 Hz. 144 Hz comes directly from PC gaming monitors, and it landed on phones built for one purpose: competitive mobile gaming. The Asus ROG Phone series, Nubia Red Magic, Lenovo Legion. These phones push 144 Hz and pair it with touch sampling rates of 360 Hz or higher to minimize input lag. In fast-paced titles like PUBG Mobile, Call of Duty Mobile, and Diablo Immortal, the difference between 120 Hz and 144 Hz is subtle but present. Movements look more fluid. Your swipes register fractionally faster. For casual players, you won't feel it. For people grinding ranked matches, it matters. The failure point: most mobile games don't render at 144 frames per second. Your screen refreshes 144 times, but the game engine may only push 60 or 90 actual frames. You're getting a smoother UI, not a smoother game, unless the game has an explicit 144 FPS unlock, and very few do. The panel's potential sits mostly unused.